Everyone, this is Jutika here from Bollywood Couch. Today we have got a very special guest with us who has not only made her parents proud or her native Assam proud, she has also got glory to the entire country. At a very young age, she could achieve international awards, she could achieve international crowns, and she has brought so much glory and so much pride to entire country India. Today we have got Miss Varsha from Pune, who is the Miss Cuba International in 2016. She is also the Ocean Ambassador. She is also a TEDx speaker. She is also a choreographer. She is a model. She is an actor. She wears so many hats very successfully at a very young age, and she has been doing tremendous job in spreading awareness in the climate protection and reservation as well. So we are going to meet Varsha, who belongs to the defense background, and we are going to hear her inspiring journey, how she could make it from Pune all the way to international beauty queen, and who has also been successfully managing all her roles as an ocean ambassador, as Miss Scuba International 2016, as a model, as a choreographer and all. So I am sure Miss Varsha must be there online. Let me connect to her and let us hear her story from her end. Varsha is a girl from Assam, and she has brought up in Assam. She was born in Assam, but she has brought up in Pune. She did her studies from Pune, and though scuba diving is not that popular game or popular mode of sports in India, but Varsha managed to successfully achieve her career in scuba diving. I can't see her weight. I'm waiting to see her. Let me drop her a message. Yeah, she's there. She's there. So I'm connecting with Varsha, today's guest. So please bear with me. Hi Varsha, I can see you here. So I'm just getting you. So, yes. Today, Varsha would be live from Pune, and she would be sharing with us her inspiring journey, how she could manage to, attain that kind of success at a very young age, and she could bring so much of glory to this country. She has been doing tremendous job. She has been doing awesome and amazing job, and I'm sure all our viewers would love to know about her inspiring journey. Meanwhile, I would like to thank all our associates. We have got Deval Jewels today with us. We also have got Vedis, and we also have got we Women Entrepreneurial Enclave as our community partners. Thanks to all our partners, so that we could be successfully sitting today and interacting with you. Varsha got disconnected. Let me connect back with her again. I'm really sorry for this, but this technology, it does happen like this sometimes. It's showing waiting for Varsha Rajkua to join us. I think there is some network error at her end. So please bear with me. She's there. I could see her waving at me, but it's like showing waiting for Varsha. Let me also drop her a message. Yeah. Hi Varsha, are you there? Can you hear me? I could see you. I'm sending you the invite to join me. It's still showing waiting. Oh, it's showing she's unable to join. Okay. Please bear with me. This technological glitch, it does happen sometimes. I am sending her the request. Join the request. It's still showing waiting. So let me call her up once. Yeah, she's there. She's there. Finally, Varsha is there
Finally.
with us. This technological glitch, sometimes it makes you worry like anything. And first, I have sent you the invite. So maybe, there was some technical errors. Then I could see the invite from your end, and it was taking time. It was saying waiting, waiting, waiting. So finally, we are so happy and glad to have Varsha with us today. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for
much.
joining us today. And you were looking so
Thank you
pretty.
so much. Thank you. So are you? Looking very nice. I love your junk jewelry out there.
Yeah, this is from my partners, They will Jewels. Thank you so much, They will once again. So, how is the weather in Pune?
It's pretty nice. Like it's the typical Pune weather with monsoon, so it's very nice. I love
Yeah,
this
great,
weather. But I'm sure Bombay
great.
people don't like rain. Like there's too much
No,
of flooding happening there. Like,
this time rain is not leaving Mumbai. It seems that rain wants to stay back with Mumbai. It's going to be now
yeah,
October, yet it is
West
raining.
End.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. So let us start with our conversation. So today we have got many audience who are keen to hear your inspiring journey. So Varsha, we all
hi
know that
everyone.
you. So Varsha, we all know that you are from a defense background, right? Your father is into defense. So
Yes.
we would like to know how this defense background has helped you to shape up the Varsha Rajkwa.
Okay, I think first of all, I would like to say that thank you for inviting me. I'm grateful that you have audience and I have you to listen and ask me questions about my journey. So, being from a defense background, my dad was in the Air Force, and my parents are very adventurous themselves. Like they'd like to go to different kind of places, explore something, not like that typical tourist places, but like different places which you don't have much of a tourist. So, at a very early age, I was exposed to sports. I was meeting different people from different cities and states in India because every 3 years, my father used to have his postings. So, you get to a new atmosphere, you adapt quite easily, like that adaptability to a new atmosphere comes at a very early age in the defense. So, exposing to like places with different culture, with different atmosphere, with different climate is something that's always been there in me. And whenever dad used to be posted from one place to another, we used to travel by road. We have never traveled by a plane or a train. But from Pune to Assam, Assam to Jodhpur, Jodhpur to Bangalore, it's always by road. So it's always been very adventurous. My whole childhood has gone on road, I think, traveling with mom and dad and my sister. So it's an incredible experience. And of course, yeah, like I said, like at a very early age, when you're from a defense background, you get exposed to different culture people, different state people, and also to a lot of adventure sports because everything is there inside the camp. And, you get to learn so much from meeting and also fine dining because these are things which as a pageant girl you're taught. But when you enter a mess, defense mess, it's very, very important to follow a dress code. So you're taught how to dress when you enter the premises of an officer's camp and how to talk to each one, greeting each one, good evening, thank you, sorry. So these are words that you're taught at a very early age. So I think my grooming is definitely began like when I began to understand and have that kind of a conversation with my parents that okay, this is how you're supposed to behave, and discipline is something that I would say they have tried their best to teach me, but I will not say that I'm completely disciplined because my family will be like, okay, we don't agree to that point, being the younger one. But yes, discipline is something like that defense does teach you. Like, 1 minute late, also you're kicked out of a place. So that is something that did a lot to my career and me as a person.
So you are the youngest. That means you are the most pampered
Yes.
one, right?
Yes.
I'm sure my
Yes.
little sister will be happy to hear this as well. All
Oh
the
yeah,
youngest are the most
younger
pampered
ones
ones.
bond with this, the moment you say that I'm the younger one in the family, I'm bullied and then, but I'm still pampered and then everyone is like, yeah, yeah, this is what my elder brother or my elder sister does. So I'm sure your sister can connect to me.
Yes, absolutely. So, Varsha, the second question that we would like to know from you, like, scuba diving is not a very important mode of, sports or an activity in India. So, like, you are from Pune, though you were born in Assam, but you have brought up majorly in Pune, right? You did your studies in Pune.
Yes.
So, in fact, I did my studies in Pune, but when I was in Pune, I was not much aware about scuba diving. So, how did it happen in your life? How scuba diving happened in your life?
So actually for me, I've always been a water baby. I used to swim. I was in the national team in school and then college also I continued my swimming, but somewhere because of studies, I left competing in college. But swimming was something where I told you like we were exposed to sports very at a very early age. So mom, dad, my sister, always swimmers. And then dad was like, now since three of us are swimmers, you have to swim. So it's not that I used to love swimming, but I was forced into it by my parents, and then I was like, okay, fine, everyone goes, and you know how the younger ones are. Whatever the elder one does, you go behind them. So wherever my sister used to go, is to make sure I go there. But then that, of course, became like a feather on my cap. So it was like I started swimming when I was in seventh standard, and since then I continued. And as I grew up, I competed, and of course, when you win a medal, then you're like, oh, I always love swimming. You tend to say that because you start winning some title. So it just gives you that happiness. So water was something that I was not afraid of, like jumping or or swimming or breathing inside water. I used to enjoy being in the water. So when I came to my modeling career, then scuba diving is something that I did for Miss Scuba International, because to go for this competition, you have to be a certified scuba diver. So I was aware of the sports and I was aware that okay, people dive and then they do research about and then about marine biologists. I did have the knowledge, but I never tried it because I'm an environmentalist myself. I've done my master's in environment science, but it was always above water. I used to be like, okay, save water or ocean is getting polluted. Never got the opportunity to actually dive and see that these are the problems actually happening and occurring. So, you only get to know when you dive. So I did my certification and I did my first dive because of Miss Scuba International.
Oh, great, great, great. So, if somebody wants to take up it as a profession, so where are the places that they can study about it? In India, maybe
Okay,
in Pune or Mumbai, wherever.
study, I would say Google. It's like Google has everything. You have syllabuses now since everything is gone online. So you do have syllabus. You have certified ISSI certificates have been given online. So you can contact any dive instructor or any schools. The schools are in Goa and Andamans. Like out of my experience, I'm saying even Pondicherry has some dive sites. So you can go study in different places under a dive instructor. They will certify you or any dive school. Dive India is also there in Andamans. So I did from FinKick Adventure, which is owned by Kshitij Mittal, and my dive instructor for Andamans was Malhar Kulkarni and Sai and Rohan. So I would say that if you really, really want to take up certification in India, I think Andamans is the best place to go. Havelock is there. You can go dive and get your certification done there. And the instructors are amazing. They're like not like that typical teachers, but it's like, the way they teach and the way they actually making you practice each time is very innovative. It's very thrilling because, most important thing that it teaches you're responsible for your own life. So when you're diving, no one takes that guarantee, okay, you'll come up safe. It is a bit scary feeling, but then they have to say that as instructors because underwater, the entire world is very uncertain and unknown. So, they can't say, Acha, yahan se something will come or from this side something will come or this might happen. So that's why they do teach you those things that you are supposed to be alert and you're supposed to be responsible for your own self and your own health conditions. Anything uneasy, just signal and then we'll take you surface up. So that is something very important that I learned from diving. And if anybody wants to pursue, I think Andevins is the best place to be certified in India. So you can go there and you can contact any of the dive instructors, or I can help you with the numbers, and you can get your certification done.
So does it
But for
also
people
require
in
some?
Mumbai and Pune, I think Goa is closest. But if you want to
Yeah.
really see, like visibility wise, I think nothing better than Andaman Island.
So does it require any prerequisite qualification or some health condition or some certain age bracket or anything?
Age, again, like they say, everything is in your mind. So age bracket, I won't say, but yes, health condition there are like, blood pressure, and then sugar patients, like you're diabetic, or you have heart issues. So they do ask you certain things. So with that kind of a condition, they tell you how much can you go deeper, or can you certify or not, or if you're having asthma. Because, breathing underwater is very, very important. You need to be very comfortable, very calm, very composed. You can't panic because you're breathing something unnatural. That's not something natural system has, or you do in your day-to-day basis. So you can't panic underwater. You need to be very comfortable breathing with your mouth, because the regulator is there to breathe. So it's important to be very composed. But of course, they do have a whole form that you have to write and give it to the instructor. They read through that, what all are the issues that you're having, and based on that, they'll say that, okay, you can or you cannot, or you can snorkel. There are many options nowadays. So it's not only diving. You can snorkel, or they'll, tell you different things other than there's adventure dive. The instructor goes along with you. But for certification, yes, they do check health conditions.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks for making us aware more about it. So you
Thank
are an
you.
international beauty queen, right? You are the Miss Cuba International. You are an ocean ambassador. You are a TEDx speaker. You are an climate reality change leader. So you are wearing so many hats. And when you represent your country at an international level, and when you bring so much glory to the country, it comes with lots of responsibilities. It comes with
Yes.
lots of to-do lists, right? Do's and don'ts. So what kind of
Yes.
what are the responsibilities which has come along with all this acknowledgement or with this crown?
So I would definitely say, when you win a crown, the crown comes with a lot of responsibilities, or anything that you win internationally where your country name is behind you, India, because when you're going abroad for a competition, people don't know you by your name. All they know is the label given to you, wearing that on your chest, India. It's like a moment of pride. And then, of course, by seeing that, okay, they are assigning me by India, Miss India, Miss India. So, you're like, okay, my country's name is there. Now I have to bring up my country and, be there in the top. So that does get a lot of responsibility, and you do become responsible over a period of time. So, like serving towards the cause that you're actually going for. Like for us, the Miss Cuba International serves for the main motto is ocean conservation and environment protection. So, it's like saving oceans through beauty is the tagline for Miss Cuba International. So, they select an ambassador along with winning Miss Cuba International. You become an ocean ambassador. You tour around the world and you talk to people about why is it important to conserve oceans, because life originated first in oceans. And most of us don't know that the oxygen that we are breathing mostly is coming from the oceans. So, because people don't have an idea about that. So it's very important to conserve oceans, because ocean bleaching can be a very big problem, and it also leads to climate change. Like I said, I'm working towards climate reality project. So that is also, everything is like a circle and it connects to one another. So, it's very important as a queen from Miss Cuba International, as a winner, you reach out to the maximum even after your reigning period is over. So you have to carry this throughout. Any queen that you see winning international works for a purpose, works for a cause. And till the time you're, gone from this world, you need to make sure you do the most you can and you give to the society as much as possible. So definitely, it does get in a lot of responsibility, but through the journey, we also learn. that, okay, these are my responsibility, and you get serious about it because, with that crown, you're wearing a lot of responsibility. So you feel good, and especially when kids come and take selfies and they are like my niece, she's 7, but she listens to each and everything that I say, Arika. She's like, okay, you spoke about putting sunscreen, you spoke about this fish. Is it that important? Are sharks that important? That's when you realize that, okay, there are all age groups who are listening to you, who are learning from you. So it's very important that you say the right thing and the fact what is happening, not just, the outer beauty of it. Oh, it's beautiful, it's colorful, that's about it. When you talk something, you need to be logical about it, and it needs to be very, very, you know, practically, you should be doing it also. Practice as much as possible. So that's what I've been doing. I try my best to reach out to the maximum that I can and give awareness as much as I can.
So, as you have rightly mentioned, it's a never ending, it's a long lasting responsibilities, right? For any beauty
Yes.
queen or anyone till your
It's the
last
same
breath
as
you will
a mother, you're like, you become a mom, you nurture something, you gain that title, and then your responsibility is never ending. Like, it's like parenting. You have adopted to something, it's a new life given to you. So you need to nurture that. You need to make sure it is passed on, like you pass on to your kids. It's the same way you pass on the knowledge to others, and then the next queen takes it up, and then she passes to the next. So that's how it keeps going ahead.
understood. Thank you so much for explaining it so nicely. So the other questions that I have, like, I have seen you roaming around the entire globe. You have been traveling to various countries and representing beautiful India, right? So, is there any memorable incident that you would like to share with us today? Since you have been part of many, many, many international events, you have been invited to various international conferences, you have been gone and given your speech. So, anything which is very much memorable for you that you would like to share?
There are many, but when you ask anything is like very difficult, especially for me to sum it up and say that there was one. There were many, many incidents, but one very, like we were sitting in a board table and we were talking to each other with different country people, and they were just interacting that what is the thing, and how do you plan to go ahead with it, or what are your future plans. But there was one person, along with my director, they said, okay, Varsha, we take back the crown from you and we'll ask you questions again. So let's see if you truly deserve to be the Miss Cuba International or not. They again retested. Now that was something which I was not prepared, because once you win something, you're called as a chief guest, you go there as a spokesperson, you're talking about different topics, but you never expect someone to again test you on what you have won. So there I was caught off guard, and I was like, okay, now what do I do? Because, I was not in that mode of preparing something at that moment of time. So they asked me questions again, and again something related to pageants and why do I deserve to win. Uh, I gave the answer in a different way than I gave to in the pageant. And that was the time when all of them together said that you truly deserve to be the one chosen from India and to win this crown internationally and represent your country. So getting back the crown again, second time amongst all these people, including my director, was a very big thing, because it was like second time you're tested and you pass with the same dignity and pride. It was something too magical for me. It's like reliving that whole moment again. So yes, that is one moment that I had during my tour.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm getting goosebumps, when you were explaining this incident. So you have been working towards climate change. You are one of the reality leaders. So what is your take on the youth of India? Like, where do you see them?
I think the college crowd, especially, the organization that's been coming, the small organization that the firms are there, the kind of work they're doing, and they're trying to voice out what are the issues, especially like if you've heard about this sustainable fashion, is something coming up a lot nowadays. Why go sustainable? Why talk about sustainability, and then the three R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. people use that a lot in their talking. I think the youth is doing an incredible work and reaching out to the crowd, without any publicity that they have or even sponsorship. I've seen people working towards this, like volunteering. Not that they are paid for it and then they do campaigns. I think it's incredible because they are the future, and it's very important if such steps are taken by them. So I would like to thank each one of them to work, selflessly towards this. Because when you're working towards such sectors, you need to forget about certain things that you're going to get paid all the time, or you're going to have sponsorship all the time, and or you're going to have the media around you. You need to work selflessly towards this thing. So it's like, you give something, like how a mother gives to a child without, asking for it back, that, love me back kind of a thing. So there are a lot of youth who are working towards it. And I'm really thankful because the way they are coming up with different topics, because there are a lot of things that they teach us. And then I look at their webinars and I look at their creators and I'm like, oh, wow. So these are the things you're supposed to do. This is also how you can help, reach to people, spread awareness and talk about environment protection. And the marathons, there are cyclothons for which they do to reduce the carbon footprint. So I think it's a great initiative taken, and if this is how each one of us start working on our own, it's going to be a great change. And I'm sure whatever is damaged, we can sustain and control it and conserve it.
Great, great. So there is a very trend in India, like, we always get to see that all the beauty queens eventually ends up joining Bollywood. So what is your plan? So do you have do you have your own set of dreams to join Bollywood as well?
Okay, if I say that no, I never have dreamt of going to Bollywood, it would be wrong because when you're in this line, particularly into pageants, into modeling, or you love the stage, you love dancing or love acting, you're there because you love attention, you love to be clicked, you want everyone to look at you. So of course, as being from this part of the world, the media world, I would say definitely if I get a script and something concrete that is adding up to me and it adds up to the brand, I would definitely want to do. When I saw Padmavat, I was like, okay, mom, I think, I want to do something like this, like a Queen movie. And, my first debut should be something like that. So definitely, yes, if there's a very good script given to me and I'm approached by a team who really, requires that kind of a face, then I would definitely work with them. But till now, I haven't thought about it because I was always working towards my cause. And then initially, I thought that let me work towards my cause a bit and see if something comes up genuinely in the journey. So I started working because if you sit and think that I really want to get into Bollywood, there's a lot that you have to leave back and focus in that. So I thought as a queen, first my responsibility is what I have won for, like the crown that I have got, I need to serve towards it. Once I establish, then definitely I will take one step ahead and try my luck in Bollywood.
Great. So we will convey our best wishes and we will also
Thank you
pray for
so
you.
much.
Don't worry, you will make it big one day. So Varsha,
Thank
you
you.
belong to the northeastern part of this country, right? So have you ever faced any kind of discrimination being a northeastern?
Yes, definitely, I would say. About this topic, I would say that it's always been a very mixed kind of a love that I have got, because it's not that the same place I have found two kind of a crowd, like someone who has bullied me, but at the same time, the same place has loved me and given me that much of respect. So because of that few people who have bullied or who have spoken negative, I can't judge everyone. It will be wrong on my part to say that I was bullied by everyone. That's not the case. But definitely, Northeast people face a lot the language barrier because the Hindi accent is kind of very typical. When you speak in Hindi, they are like, are you from Northeast? Is the first question. Then the second question is like, I know you guys eat dogs. Like they generalize everything. You eat everything. You eat dogs. You wear, your dress is kind of off. We don't want you coming like this. You make sure you wear very traditional outfits. So there are concepts which are not accepted by few of them, and of course I was bullied, especially college time. Like a lot of fun on my accent, the way I used to speak, and sometimes saying that you are chinky, this is how you look. And they also generalize, they look, when you say you're a Northeastern, there are different concepts they have about the Northeastern girls. So there are a lot of challenges that you face, but then again, the same kind of place would give you that much of love and respect. Like I was fortunate enough to have a group of friends who were extremely supportive, and anything like this, they used to make sure they're the first one to protect in college. So, I'm grateful to my friends because they've been a great support. And because of them, the journey became easy. But of course, there were things that I have faced in school and college, the way I used to look and the way I used to speak in Hindi. So I was bullied because of these things. But then it's a part of life, and my parents always taught me that it's never going to be an easy journey. You have to face challenges in every step. But if you sit, crib, and cry about it, you will never be loved and accepted. You can't reject yourself. First, accept yourself and be proud of who you are, because be grateful to whatever you have. So if you're learning something back home like that, then you're pretty confident when you're walking around. So fortunately, with those kind of things, I took them very seriously. I was like, okay, fine, I'm grateful to whatever I have. At least I have, like, I can speak, I can see around. So it's the beauty of life is like that given to me. So I should be grateful to God. So those kind of things, of course, gave me that confidence that all right, it's going to be difficult, but yet I will focus in what I want. The focus has to be on me, and the way I look at myself is important, not how others judge me. So I think everyone should have that spirit and move ahead in life, and you'll never have a problem, or you'll never feel left alone or bullied. That's going to happen throughout, maybe because of your looks, maybe because of your skin color, or maybe the way you talk. You're always going to have problems, no matter where you belong to. But then accepting yourself is something you truly need to do.
So inspiring. I really love your positive attitude, and we should all
Thank you
learn
so
this from
much.
you. So, Varsha, you have been, multitasking throughout. After you became the, Miss Cuba International, you have been managing so many roles. So, how this multitasking, is it a pressure to you, or could you carry it well in a very natural way? So, how are you managing so many roles at a time?
Uh, it's like, I'll be honest, I love to work, so it's never a pressure when I'm working or whatever assignments I'm doing. I hate to sit idle, like doing nothing. And somewhere, because we were never given that kind of a time during our childhood, our Sundays was also gone into running, like 5 o'clock waking up, not like a regular Sunday. My dad used to make sure he wakes all of us up by 5 a.m. and then go for a run or cycle or something, but do something productive every day. You can't sit idle. You can't watch TV. Till now, we are scared whenever Papa is home. We are like no TV. So it's that kind of a fear that we have. Okay, no watching TV. Dad's home. So somewhere that thing is very important. What you learn from a very young age. So of course, managing sometimes it's difficult, like, everything comes together and then you have to leave two projects. But I'm such a workaholic. Somewhere I manage that, okay, fine, 2 hours I will give for this project, and the next 3, 4 hours I'll sit for this. But sometimes, of course, there are opportunities that you have to let go because you have given your commitment to one person already. And to be successful, it's very, very important you stick to your commitments. No matter how big brand you get, first, the word that you have given to one person, even if it's the smallest brand in the world, you need to make sure you fulfill that and then, try your luck for the bigger one. Because your commitment is everything, and you'll be successful only if you're committed and focused.
Very true. I'm enjoying these conversations like anything. I can,
Thank
have it,
you.
I can
Thank
make
you.
it go through long and long, but we have our time constraint, so we cannot
Yes.
make it longer anymore. So I would like to know what is the message that you would like to impart to all the aspiring scuba diving, like, juniors or anyone who wants to do towards climate change or ocean conservation.
Okay, I would like to say combined for everything, like whether it's about being an environment leader, working towards climate change, or diving, or even modeling, or pursuing your career in pageants. It's You will only be successful if you're rooted deep and focused. Because I'll just give a small example, like wherever there is a turbulence, or there's a storm, it can't move a thing that is deeply rooted. So if you're deeply rooted with your focus and ambitions in life, you definitely won't be shaken. So first, you need to be clear of what you want. You can't have five things at one time. That's not possible. Like I said before, you have to let go of some things to be successful. You have to, because you can't get everything. You can't be an actor. You can't be an environmentalist. You can't be a model at the same time. You can, but the first thing, the base needs to be very, very strong. So focus on one thing, whether you want to be a diver, you want to pursue your career in diving, you need to make sure that you do your complete homework and, basically the groundwork about it, that where do you dive? What is it that I can gain out of diving? Am I looking for money? Then how do I gain out of it? Or do I really want to be a diver, like, be a passionate diver, or I love the life underwater. So you need to know, you need to really realize within what are your passion, what is your ambition, and what is it that you're looking to earn from. So you need to be very clear of these things in life and then focus in one direction through the journey that you explore and eventually grow into. You definitely can channelize, like, don't get into that when you're making your base, that time you start channelizing. It's a very wrong thing to do. You channelize in one particular thing, and then you go ahead, and once you're successful, you make that home base, then you can definitely, channel it out and try different things in life. So I would say to all of you, be very, very deeply rooted with your focus, what you have in life, then nothing can shake you. And definitely you will be successful and you can experiment later with whatever you want to be in life.
Very well said. So before we take up questions for our audience, I would like to thank our associate once again, Deval Jewels, and our style partner, our beauty partner is Vedis, and our community partner is We, Women Entrepreneurial Enclave. And we have got a beautiful gift for you today from Deval Jewels. I'm sure you would love it.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sure you will
Thank you
adore
so
it.
much, Devil
So,
Jewels. It's
so whenever
beautiful
I'll
and it's
get to
green
meet
in
you,
color. It's like environment,
yes,
environment color.
yes,
So I
yes.
love the color. Thank you so
So
much, Devil Jewels.
whenever
Thank
I'll
you.
get to meet you at person, we will hand over this to you. Thanks to our
Wow.
style partner, beauty partner, and community partner. So we do have time constraint, but I will immediately take few questions. So
Sure.
there was one question I could see, like, have you ever visited Vizag?
Not yet, not yet. I have visited otherwise, but not went there for any work purpose or something, just touring around. Very, very, I was like in school, maybe in third standard or something.
So there was one question like, tell us something about your love life. So I'm also very keen to know that.
Okay, like I said, I'm a big time workaholic. I never believe to, drag on to someone and then get them that, okay, I'll give you so much time, because love life needs a lot of commitment. But in school, college, throughout, I have been single. I know not many people would believe in it, but I definitely have someone in my life now. So hopefully, let's see how does it work, because I take everything very seriously. So even if it's my love life, then I make sure that I give full commitment to it. So yeah.
So I'll take just one more last question. So scuba diving is a very unconventional choice to make. So what make you to make such unconventional choice?
Like I said, that for my focus was to win something internationally for my country. It was always a dream. I always told my dad that I want to be a superstar. I want to stand out. When this opportunity was given to me, but I was told that to be a beauty queen in this pageant, you have to be a certified diver. That was my focus to win the crown. I did my certification, but as I said, while diving, there's a lot of things that I learned, and it changed my process of thinking and seeing the world, because you face challenges, you're facing something you're uncertain about, and you see so much happening around you, like the colors, then the feeling that okay, anything can happen, but I need to take that responsibility and go back home safely. So while learning all these things, that's when I decided, no, I need to take this seriously and I will do my advanced diving and I will get into this field, do research and talk about it like in practical that this is what is happening underwater and this is what we need to conserve. So I became serious once I actually did my first dive.
Very nice. So it's a very inspirational session that we have. I'm sure all our audience who have joined us today, they have loved it. Still many questions are pouring. People are asking whether you love water. If they are asking if
Yes,
you do gym or yoga, if scuba diving is yoga for you. But we really have time
yes, it
constraints,
is.
so we
It
will have
is.
to. So we will
Yes,
have
it
to
is. I
invite
would
you.
quickly say yes, it is. And I do
So
yoga, I do CrossFit. So yeah,
so people
you
are
can
asking
definitely
what.
drop me the questions. I can
Yeah.
answer them
So
all. And thank you for
there.
asking me questions.
No, people are still joining in. I'm so excited, but I'm feeling sad to, sum it up because we have no choice. So we
Hi.
will have to again
We can
invite
say
you one
hi
more
to
time.
all of them.
Yeah, please say hi to all of them. Please say hi to all our
Yes.
associates as well. Please do visit their site and buy the beautiful products from Deval Jewels and Babies. And thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming and joining us and interacting with
Thank
us
you so
today.
much.
We'll look forward to
Thank
invite you
you.
one more time so that we can finish the remaining questions that we have been pouring till now. Thank you
Where's
so
our
much, Varsha.
Bhargav? Urmila,
Yeah,
Bhargav. Okay. Hello, hello guys, and thank you for inviting me. We have to close this, but if you have any questions, please ask Miss Jyotika and she'll send across the questions and I hopefully can answer all of them. And thank you for inviting
sure.
me. Thank you, Deval Jewel,
Thank you so
and
much.
looking forward
And
to
thank
meeting
you,
you
our
again.
beauty partner. Sure, sure. Bye bye.
Thank
Take
you,
care
thank you,
and
thank
best
you. Bye
wishes
bye.
for all your future endeavors. We would like to
Thank
see
you.
you,
Thank you.
going sky high and making all of us proud.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And just to
Bye
all of
bye.
you, keep believing in yourself and keep loving yourself always.
Thank you so much. Tata. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.